We're live! Ah!
Woo!
Woo!
Fucking, we're live. Pixel Chicken Gaming live stream.
They know what we look like.
Phil, there's a key difference between all three of us, and that's that you don't have a bookshelf full of
Yes.
figures and things like that.
I'm recording in a closet that I cleaned out, and I thought I'd find a smaller room to make the sound quality better. Okay.
You need to fill your bookshelf with books and knowledge. That is the true key to success. I mean, my bookshelf here.
I've got plenty of books in my room.
I got like 5 books here.
John le Carre.
We don't see them though.
Alex Berenson.
You have to personify yourself with your surroundings.
Yeah, this bookshelf behind me, Phil, fucking comics.
Fuck
you wouldn't know anything about that.
I don't know shit.
Dude, my bedroom, it's got duck things and assorted duck peripherals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there are a lot of what are those fat little bird things next to you?
Well, there's a long story.
Okay.
They're all from Japan or various things. My sister loves buying cute stuff. She goes to conventions or stores that sell import cute stuff. And then when I went to Japan with her, like, I just kind of got into it. So she's always like buying these things and saying, "Here it is. Now pay me back." And I don't even pick any of those. She just decided that I like duck stuff. So all of this stuff, I didn't buy any of it. There's some alpacas
But she gives it.
there.
She gives it to you, and she expects you to give her money for it.
Some of them are birthday gifts. See, the thing is, she knows I like it, because I do. I don't. Then I get this theme going here. I don't know how it happened.
Speaking of Japanese, I'm enjoying Shijiro right now. I'm murdering the name. It's a good samurai flick.
Sanjuro?
Sanjuro, yes.
The Jimbo sequel?
Yes.
Okay.
Did you finish it?
I'm nearing the end.
The end is
my streaming sucks on Hulu.
Okay, links there.
What is that I see?
Just a Japanese wrestling game for the PS2.
All right. Hey.
Dude, I just got a bunch of rare PS2 games in the mail today. Got a fat stack.
Nice. That's a good stack.
Digital Devil Saga Duology. I got Nocturne. I got Devil Summoner 2 Brand New Seal. I got Devil Summoner 1, and I got Persona 3 Vanilla, completing my...
Where the hell did you get those?
eBay.
Oh, duh.
eBay.
But they look in really good condition. They look in great condition.
They are. The box for this is a little biffed, but everything else is basically new. This one literally is new. So I own every obscure Shin Megami Tensei game. These are usually worth like $30 a piece because they didn't make that many, so they're already rare. So I just wanted to have them.
So are we cutting now and then re-living?
I suppose.
E3.
Well, we need to find the URL to this damn thing. Oh,
Yeah.
We'll go to the YouTube.
There you go. Here, I'll do that too.
So I will, yeah. Let's see.
Here we go. And here we are. Here's the URL. So this is what I have, Johnny.
Okay.
There you go.
Look good?
Yeah. Let's share it.
Okay. Share it.
I'm gonna share it on.
Click on it.
I'm sharing it on Facebook.
Okay.
Oh shit. Right. I can't see the. I'm logged in as Pixel Chicken, but it's not a part of the group, our usual group chat. And if I log out, it'll like kick me out of the stream. I hate Google Hangouts so much. So I can share it from my phone.
All right, I'm tweeting it right now.
I'm sharing it on my Facebook too.
Okay. Tweeted. Now time to Facebook. Phil, you posted just a link with nothing about it.
Oh, let me delete it. I don't know how to do this then.
It's all right, Phil. Just say what it is. Don't just post a link.
Okay.
Pre-E3 Extravaganza. Am I spelling that right? Okay.
Now I'm going to share pals.
I posted on Facebook and Twitter, so you guys can just share from our page. So we can just share that. All right.
There we go. Yeah.
You guys see it there? Cool.
I'm going to share this with my pals in my chat group.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right,
so
it's up on Facebook.
We are 3 minutes past the hour. So what do you say we get right into it?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start it off. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Pixel Chicken Gaming's live stream of our Pre-E3 Extravaganza. This is the show where we delve into our E3 predictions and our hopes, what we want to see happen, and then we will kind of retouch on this when E3 actually happens and see what of our predictions came true, which ones didn't, and things of that nature. So, before we get into that, I just wanted to tell everybody, anybody who's a long-time listener will know that we haven't had a podcast in quite a while now. We've had a lot of things going on. For those of you that didn't read the Facebook post, all four of us have had some pretty major life changes, different jobs, moving to different cities, starting school, more moving, all kinds of stuff. But anyway, the point is, from now on, we will still be doing our special events like the E3 shows, podcasts. We'll do the occasional special podcast where we talk about a specific theme, something akin to our episode where we did like the PS1 versus N64 and kind of debated that. We'll still do stuff like that occasionally, but we won't be doing weekly podcasts anymore. It's just not feasible. We will be dumping all of our collective resources into our website, which is pixelchickengaming.com. So check that out to keep up to date with what we think about stuff. And other than that, how are you guys doing?
I'm doing better. Doing good.
Doing better, Phil?
Yeah, I need
Phil's in
I
a
need
closet.
this. I need to talk about some video games. I need this. But yeah, I'm all right.
Phil's in a closet right now. Phil's literally in a closet.
He needs.
It helps the sound quality. Like a smaller room, right?
He's not
Someone
even
needs to
in
help
his
him.
bedroom closet. He is in the broom closet.
Yeah.
The best.
I thought I'd try it.
Currently,
Yeah,
I
Phil's
think
probably got a vacuum cleaner right next to him right now.
No, I don't.
What do you have,
I do have a
in the
hockey
room?
table behind me. I have a hockey table.
Oh, anything else you can show us in there? Any cleaners, detergents?
No, just a ladder.
Coats.
A ladder and a fucked up dresser.
I feel like you have a weird closet, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
Johnny, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing nothing. I basically quit
Hell
my
yeah.
job. I played a bunch of video games.
It's all for a good cause. You're not doing it for forever. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm just kind of done where I was. I want to move on to college, and so yeah, I just straight up walked out. Got 5 week summer break of nothing, and so having a break for once has been rare and amazing.
Good for you.
Sweet.
I'm living in a new city now. And that's pretty
Huge.
good so far.
How's that going?
It's going good. Other than,
Awesome.
I think I told you guys about this, there's a group of bullies that beat me up after work every day on my way home.
Go
Every day.
Ralphie on them, man.
Yeah. But besides that, it's all good.
Dude, that sounds rough, man.
It's a bit rough.
That sounds like Symantec. I don't know. I don't like that.
Yeah, I was, it was a shock for sure.
So,
But yeah, go ahead.
so how is the new city? Are we saying what it is? How's the city of Curve? The city of Swivel.
It's good. It's very nice. A lot of potholes, but besides that, it's good.
You're gonna get that fixed, right?
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Turns out there's very little that I can do about it, but I'm working on it. Well, guys, what do you say we get into the meat and potatoes here?
I love potatoes, dude.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Me too. I eat
As
too much
do
of them.
I.
They flow through my veins.
So, just so you guys know, our listeners, we are just going to kind of break this down by conference. By conference and by company. So we're going to start off, we'll go through each conference and we'll say what our predictions are and what we hope will happen. Our hopes are a little bit different. Maybe they're a bit more out there, things that there's no real evidence of, but we kind of, we just want it to happen because it would be cool. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. So the first conference on our list is the EA conference. So, Johnny.
Yes. Oh.
Hit me with it.
Okay. I think technically Bethesda's going to happen first, but yeah, E3 is we're expecting for predictions. Starting with predictions, we're going to do predictions and then what we hope to see. But what we pretty much know is Mass Effect Andromeda is obviously going to be there. We're going to see gameplay footage for the first time. Now, my prediction is that Mass Effect Andromeda is going to be a lot bigger and more open than previous Mass Effect games, because I think that BioWare was really trying to go for a more open style, since that's like really hot right now with RPGs.
Right.
They were inspired by Skyrim when they did Inquisition. And the MMOE gameplay, there's a lot of complaints, but they had a lot of things in the right direction. They haven't done a Mass Effect game since then. And Mass Effect 3 was this game built around following this story. And now that story's over, so they can do whatever they want. So my prediction is that Mass Effect 3 is going to, or 4, Andromeda, is going to be very different from previous Mass Effect games, aside from the universe. I think the gameplay style is going to change drastically, and that will either very much impress people, or it will bother some people that it doesn't look like just what you'd expect from a Mass Effect 4. I think that they're really retooling the series.
Right.
They've done different things each installment, to be fair. So I mean, how drastic of a change can it be?
No, I think it's going to be.
I think it'll be huge.
I think it's going to be completely different, because they're going to have a lot of story. Like they've always had. They're going to have the same kind of cutscenes or dialogue, because that's BioWare's thing. But the combat and gameplay is always up in the air, and BioWare is not really known for that. Their combat's very functional for each game, but like every Dragon Age game plays completely different, and they've still not found their thing that they want to stick with. I think that, well, first of all, they said that their biggest inspiration for Mass Effect Andromeda, some of the devs were talking about how Witcher 3 showed them
Witcher
up.
3?
Witcher 3.
Mm,
So
I like that.
it's a big inspiration
Imagine
for
that.
Andromeda, and guess what? Mass Effect 3 doesn't play anything like The Witcher. I mean, so I
Yeah,
expect that.
I feel like it will be. I agree with you, Johnny. I think it'll be a really drastic change. I think it'll have a lot more emphasis on exploration, and not so much those kind of sort of linear, like third-person shooter sequences. I don't think it'll have as much of that. I think it will be a lot more open. Um, I'm excited to see, like, if all the different variety they're going to have, and just where the story's going to go. I mean, they basically have a blank slate with this game, so
Which is wonderful.
I think that Mass Effect. It's funny because even between like the trilogy, the original trilogy of Mass Effect games, there's a lot of polarizing elements. Like a lot of people, I know several people who preferred Mass Effect 1 and didn't like what they did with Mass Effect 2 and 3 as much. I know a lot of people that like the whole trilogy, but they have differing opinions on each of them. So yeah, it'll be interesting, and I wonder. It'll be cool to see what they can do with the creativity when they do have a blank slate. I'm excited for it.
If Mass Effect, so if it looks like the same as Mass Effect 3, but like just a different story, that's actually going to kind of bother me because
Me too.
Mass Effect 3, in my opinion, so it's like, they were all really good for their time, but Mass Effect 3 seemed entirely servicing the story that we knew with these characters. It was in Mass Effect 3, like, it felt like it was entirely just about what you'd already learned.
Yeah.
And so some of that was great, and some of that killed it. And to me, it just felt like Mass Effect 3 was just the ending chapter, and it didn't really feel like this massive piece of the series.
No,
I wasn't
I
huge
agree.
on it.
I wasn't either. It felt like
ending chapter.
Yeah, and it was more. I felt like it was more about concluding the story than it was about innovating on a gameplay level.
Yeah, my favorite part about Mass Effect
is
experiencing and learning new things about the universe, because the universe is amazing. I actually there were characters that I really liked, but that wasn't my favorite part of the series. My favorite part was how cool the world is and what I can do in it, as opposed to this really, it got so convoluted, the plotline, that they didn't know how to write it.
My favorite part was the characters, especially in Mass Effect 2. But go ahead.
Well, I mean, Mass Effect 2 is an amazing game for BioWare's characters.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3 just kind of like, because 1 was about setting up the universe, 2 was about setting up the characters and the human, or not the human side, but making the world feel more lived in was like what 2 was like all about. It was making the whole universe make sense, and all of the characters became really good. And then 3 was just the epic conclusion that got really convoluted and messy. That had amazing moments. Some of the best moments in the series were in 3. But I'm glad, because by the time I got into 3, my how I saw the series had changed to being the story of Commander Shepard and the Normandy, as opposed to playing more of the Mass Effect universe. So I'm really excited to get that clean slate.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
If they don't do it justice, but got high hopes.
Yeah, like you said, I feel like Dragon Age Inquisition was a good example of them trying something new. They kind of got away from the previous Dragon Age games. So to me, that shows that they are willing to, try something different, even with a well-known franchise. So that bodes well for Mass Effect, I feel like. Do we know for sure that we're getting raw gameplay? I mean, I think it's pretty much inevitable. Like, you can assume that so much, but have they actually said? Because I don't know. I don't think they have.
We've seen, like, hints. We've seen, like, some leaked alpha footage.
Right.
But I don't even know if that was legit. That being said, I mean, if they don't, they're really in a bad spot. Usually at this point of the time span, they would show it. I mean, the game is probably going. Was it out this year?
It's been out there for a while now.
I can't remember. Is that a game that's coming out this?
Let me find out.
Oh,
I think it's 26.
Oh.
Is it 2017?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was 2017, but even if it was, we have to see what it looks like. Maybe a glimpse or something.
Yeah. It's gotta be, I think it's gonna immediately start off. Yeah, it's 2017. I think it's going to immediately do a raw gameplay, like a stage demo. That's my guess. That's my prediction. And I also predict that it will be a drastic. So I think our collective prediction is that it's going to be, they're going to show raw gameplay, and that it's going to be a pretty drastic change from the past trilogy.
Yeah.
Good.
So,
Right for something new.
so the other one on this, this is something that I specifically added, and it doesn't. We don't have to talk about it too much, but I will say why I wrote this. So I wrote on the list that there will be a new free-to-play NBA Live that will suck, is my exact words. I'd like to be a bit more optimistic than that, because I typically am, but the problem is that the NBA Live series is so... It took a few years off, then they released NBA Live 14, and then 15, and then 16, the last 3 years, and they've sold horribly, and the NBA 2K series is selling better than ever. It's just like, it's pretty much the basketball game. I mean, it's like people don't even know NBA Live exists anymore. I specifically know people that were like, oh, they still make NBA Live? I've heard someone say that. So my point
and they take up a big part of the press conferences usually, don't they?
Well, not the last few years they haven't. They've just kind of shown like quick glimpses, which is a good thing. But my point to the free-to-play thing is that they announced that they are pushing the release date back for NBA Live to 2017, which is pretty much unheard of for a basketball game. They're always released in pretty much the same window right before the season starts. And then there was also a press release, or I think it was an earnings call or something with EA that they talked about their future plans, and they mentioned NBA Live will have an emphasis on mobile platforms or something like that. So what I think that they're doing is they're waving the white flag in the simulation basketball race with NBA 2K, and they're going to tackle an untapped basketball market of some sort. And what I think they're going to do is have like a mobile game, and they're also going to probably have like some free-to-play game where you can, there's constant updates and stuff, and it's more of a platform than a regular basketball game. Like it won't have, I think they even said in the press release it's not going to have a year. It's just NBA Live or something, but maybe they didn't say that, but I think it will. And I think it won't be very good. But that's it.
NBA Live's going to suck.
That's my prediction.
That shit.
Yeah.
I'm ready to play a croquet game. EA Croquet 2016.
Nice, Phil.
Sorry.
It's going to be this huge stage event. Grandmas are coming out. Oh, wait, no, croquet, not crochet. Yeah. Now that would be sick. I would play a croquet game and a crochet game on the Wii touchpad.
You go on a world tour to different people's backyards.
Dude, you could make that. It'd be cute as hell. Okay, so E3 predictions. EA making a cute croquet and crochet game.
But they would have all these obscure celebrities in it, like Dennis Rodman.
No,
yeah, Dennis Rodman would definitely not be in it.
Am I talking about the right basketball player?
No, I hope Pele comes back out on stage and talks about soccer some more.
You really hope so?
Oh yeah, that was my favorite part of the last E3.
It was many people's favorite part, especially Phil's. So the next thing on our list for predictions, and this we know. So Titanfall 2, we have that on our list. to discuss. And we know that it's going to, I think we know that it has a single-player campaign. That's pretty much confirmed at this point. I'm excited to see this. We'll get into the prediction part, but I want to just discuss for a moment that I am excited for this. I really enjoyed the first Titanfall. I think it had some shortcomings, mainly in the longevity department. It just didn't have. It didn't have any campaign. The first Titanfall.
Oh yeah, it's all multiplayer.
Yeah, it was all multiplayer, and the problem with that is that it didn't have enough content to keep me interested for a long period of time. I mean, if you're going to go the route of multiplayer only, it better have a ton of stuff to unlock and do and just make it worth it. But in my opinion, it didn't, and in a lot of people's opinion, that's why, the online community died pretty quickly. So I'm excited. I think that they had a great core game. I mean, there's no denying that. It was great. It was really fun to play and all that. So I think that they'll learn from their mistakes at the first one. I think the campaign will be fun, and I think that the multiplayer will have a lot of good things added. I think it will wow people.
Yeah, so they're going to have to wow people, because the last one was totally dead on arrival. People say it's because there wasn't a campaign. I don't know if I agree with that. Every time I buy a Call of Duty campaign, and a lot of the people I know that buy Call of Duty campaigns or Call of Duty games, they just buy it for the multiplayer. I mean, back in the day when Modern Warfare 2 came out, I remember I was the first one to beat it. Like, I popped it in, beat the campaign. And I asked all my friends, which was everybody. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys play the campaign? How about that part of the end where you throw a tomahawk in the guy's head? Like, oh, well, we haven't even started it. It's like nobody plays these games for the single player because they're really boring. Like, it's literal just straightforward run and gun. So I couldn't care less if Titanfall had a campaign. What made Titanfall not work for me was that it was Call of Duty's multiplayer, but it wasn't designed as well as Call of Duty's multiplayer. Like, it didn't have the robots were great. I like that part of it. Maybe they'd have it to be where you use Titans more, but like I liked the whole mechanics that made Titanfall unique. But the Call of Duty element wasn't as good as Call of Duty because the guns. There's like 8 guns.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So it wasn't just about unlocks. I mean, because guns are unlocks, but like there wasn't depth of regular combat, and the biggest problem I had was to make up for the lack of campaign so that they could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They combined them, so they had this really garbage story that was forced into the multiplayer missions that you had to endure, and they also had to make each multiplayer map incredibly cinematic. So it's like when you want to play on a random map, you're doing that part of the story all over again, and I didn't like that there was tons of AIs running around doing dynamic things. Like, it was really detailed. You'd see like 2 soldiers fighting each other in the hallway, like doing an animation that you'll never see, like mo-capped, that looked great, and they're like fighting each other in a stairwell, but like, why? Like, I'm running around and I'm killing all these goons that have no health and take no skill, and I'm collecting little bits.
I don't have time to watch that shit.
Yeah, and so not only do I not get the effect of the story that they're trying to give to me, which isn't good anyway, but it's really loud and in your face. You always have calm chatter of some terrible voice actor saying, "Oh, they betrayed us. They blah blah blah." And I was like, I don't care. I just want to shoot online players in the face and get mechs dropped on me. And so the online players, whenever you did see them, they had more health than the normal guys, and it wasn't always that easy to differentiate the online players and the bots. So like, I was always killing bots and then being like, yeah, I'm good, because for a second you kind of feel that way, and then you encounter an actual online player and they just shoot you and kill you because they're better than you. But sometimes you'll see a bot and you'll see an online player, and at the time, because I didn't sink a bunch of hours into it, I didn't know which was which, so I'm gonna aim for whatever, and then I get killed. So it felt more empty because of all the NPCs in there. It made it feel like there were less online players in the game, and I just didn't like how you fought other online players until you got the Titans out.
Yeah. I heard that the new Titans will have swords.
Sweet.
Yeah,
If they just do
swords.
Titanfall 1 all over again and just, add some new guns and buff up the Titans.
I don't care about the campaign. That's the thing. I just want. I mean, I wasn't one of those people that wanted a campaign. I just wanted the multiplayer to be as rewarding as it is to play like a Call of Duty multiplayer.
Or for it to differentiate.
That was what was missing to me.
It could totally separate itself from Call of Duty at this point. Like, the things that made Titanfall shine were things that Call of Duty wasn't doing.
Yeah.
They could make a very different game, but if they just do what they were already doing, I don't think it's going to work. You can't compete with Call of Duty and be worse than Call of Duty.
Exactly. So, do we have any other predictions for EA? Because if not, we can get into what we want to see, what we hope to see.
Yeah, I think, well, what I want to see is both a prediction and hope.
Yeah? Okay.
No. Okay. So I guess it goes both ways. I predict that there will be 2 Star Wars games unveiled at the EA, because we know that they exist.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Is that including a Star Wars Battlefront 2? No. Okay. So you mean 2 different
completely
IPs.
Different games. And because we know that Visceral is working on the one with Amy Hennig. So I don't know if that's the return of 1313. I hope it's not, honestly. I hope, because I liked a lot of the ideas there. I just didn't like the main character and all that. So I hope that they really turned that project around and made it something really cool. But I imagine it's going to be Star Wars Uncharted. But then there's that second Star Wars game that's rumored by the Titanfall devs?
Right, yeah. Respawn's working on a... Yeah, I forgot about that. It's one of the devs that's already working on something.
It's a third-person shooter.
So there's a Visceral, and then another dev is working on a Star Wars game. Is it Respawn?
Maybe, but it was supposed to be a third-person shooter. I thought it was the Titanfall guys because I remember thinking as soon as I heard it, it could be a new Republic Commando type game. But then the rumors said that it was a third-person shooter. So
it is Respawn, by the way.
So yeah, those are the rest of my EA predictions. So do you guys have any other predictions for EA?
I mean, we already know that we're gonna see Battlefield 1 stuff, right? Because I'm looking forward to that.
Oh,
that looks super cool.
Oh,
that looks very interesting. I haven't been appealed to a game like that in a long time, and because they're finally changing the setting, I'm really excited to see what they do with the history there.
I'm excited to see what they do. I'm not excited to play. I'm so bad at Battlefield games. But I think that World War I is a really great setting. I'm just afraid that it's going to look too modern or something because they already had like a
with
little
the White Stripes music in the background. It kind of is a little bit concerning.
Oh man, but the trailer itself was good. It doesn't look like World War I at all, so it's like it's World War I, but it's not. So I don't know if it does.
I don't know. I disagree. I think it looked. I mean,
well, like even interviews, they said it's not really World War I. It's World War I, but it's like fantastical because World War I it was
a kind of a
bloodbath war. Yeah, the airplanes were mostly just like people were killing each other in mass. There wasn't skirmishes that were cool. It wasn't a glorious war to watch or play in really any encounter. And the airplanes are mostly used for gassing people. Like, they had machine guns on them, but, so there's not dog fights of World War I. Well, and I guess there were, kind of. But they're not that they're not that, like, intense for an epic Battlefield video game. What we're used to is, World War II is when war went just, perfect for video game material. Because it balanced all of the different fields of battle. But World War I didn't have that. Like tank warfare and all that stuff was.
Yeah, their tanks were breaking down. They were very primordial.
They didn't even really do anything. Like everything
They
was
broke
like
down.
not there yet, and then they were just using the cruelest tactics to kill each other. So it's like it's a blind charge war, really. And so it's like I don't want to simplify.
So they go for a more
from,
they go for a more fantastical look, and it
yeah,
probably doesn't work out that way.
They're going for like what's almost not. I don't want to say steampunk. Some people have said steampunk. That's dumb. But there are some things that simply didn't exist back then. Some of the guns that they've shown, they didn't exist back then. So you know, but that's not bad. Like I think it's cool. It's just I hope that they don't go like remember the fallen in World War what like I hope that it's not like the big Veterans Day game that's because it's like this isn't World War One. This is something you know. It's supposed to be like an alternate history kind of thing. Like that was what I heard. I don't know if these were rumors or actual interviews, but that's what I've been hearing. Is that there is some alternate history thing going on, which if turns out that's kind of cool too in its own way.
If there's espionage in it, I'm down.
Yeah, I've seen okay, so I've seen some breakdowns online of just on the one trailer that was shown, and because I did hear the rumors that it was going to be more fantastical and a bit more, you know, it has some elements that weren't actually there. But I've seen breakdowns of like all the weaponry and things like that that were shown off in the trailer, and it's far more accurate than I think that maybe some people think it was. I mean, there's a lot more period weapons and armory and stuff like that than there isn't. So I mean, it's still you know, it's still pretty accurate. Obviously, they're going to have to do different things.
Use bayonets.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe, probably.
You can use
you can ride on horses, though. Oh, okay.
Shovels. You can beat people over the head with shovels.
Beat them with a trench shovel.
Yeah.
So I think that that was one thing I had for a prediction is that, well, I think Battlefield 1 is going to be very impressive. I'm really excited to see it, and I think that overall it will just. I think the trailer got people pretty hyped. The fact that they are doing something that's very alternate to all the modern shooters you're seeing. I've even heard that when DICE first pitched this to EA, that they didn't okay it. They said there's no way that will work. You know, we don't want a World War I game. People won't buy it. And DICE basically was like, well, let us show you, and you know, now it's coming out. So I'm excited for it. I think it's cool. I'm excited to see a large AAA game be willing to do something different, and I think it'll be fun. And I think it will. I think most people will think that as well. I think the general consumer will be excited about this game after whatever they show at E3.
Sweet.
The other thing, now I wanted to say real quick, Johnny, just to touch on your prediction for. I think that I agree with you. I think the visceral Star Wars IP, and I think, and I actually hope that it will be, you know, their new interpretation of what Star Wars 1313 was going to be. Maybe not the exact same thing, but I would love a game that's focused on bounty hunters, and I would love a game that's focused specifically on Boba Fett. I know that that's not what everybody thinks, but I would fucking love that. So
I don't think there's really been a Star Wars game focused on Boba Fett. Jango Fett, but not Boba Fett.
There was, yeah, Jango Fett. There was Star Wars Bounty Hunter or whatever, but
yeah,
nothing.
I'd be down with that.
So I'm excited for the two reveals because when 1313 was unveiled, there was parts that I liked and there was obviously a lot of parts that I didn't like. And mostly the parts I didn't like were very prequel-y in the vibe.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
That has been completely outcast by Disney in terms of style, and we've seen that from the first Battlefront. The first thing I could say about Battlefront is that I love the style of it. And so Star Wars games are in this interesting position where Disney's Star Wars universe is slowly revealing what it is. And what we see now is what's going to define what we see a long time from now. So these games have sort of the impact of like a new Star Wars generation of games, which I think is really exciting. So whatever they reveal for this new Star Wars era video games, I think they're going to go all out. I think that Disney's probably pumping a lot of money.
Yes.
More than they were before. I don't think we're going to see shovelware, crappy Star Wars. Well, I mean, in a way, we do with like some app games, I guess. But I don't think that we're actually. I've heard that the Star Wars app game is really good for an app game. But I think Disney's really trying. Like they're really controlling for good quality and original series mixed with this new style. And the new style we've only caught a glimpse of in Force Awakens. I think that will be built upon in these new games. So that's what I'm excited for. My hopes and dreams. I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, what kind of Star Wars gameplay do I want? What kind of a Star Wars game do I want? I want a game that just tells a story in this new setting style.
Yes.
With the gameplay of Metal Gear. Stealth, espionage, action, where you're just moving to the next boss battle, and you get to witness some good story.
That would be sweet.
Not just an all-out action game, but it's got like the stealth and tactics elements of like Phantom Pain, where there's a fair amount of shooting, but you're just a guy who's sneaking around, maybe trying to get off a planet, or I no idea what the story would be.
That would be a great interpretation of Shadow of the Empire.
Yeah, Shadow of the Empire, but like plays like Metal Gear, it'd be amazing.
I think mostly to go off of what you said, I completely agree. I'm most excited just to see original stories being told in game form from now that we have this kind of new launch period or this new kickoff with Star Wars and the Force Awakens and everything, and just the fact that the consoles nowadays are so much more powerful than the last time we were seeing a good amount of actual Star Wars story-driven games. So I'm excited for that. Let's move through the hopes pretty quickly, where we've only done one conference so far.
Oh God!
So I just wanted to say a couple things I hope to see. A new NBA Street. I don't think it will happen. I absolutely don't think it will happen. I would love for it to happen.
You just wrote an article on why you'd love it.
I wrote an article about this. A new fight night. I don't think that will happen either. I think that EA UFC is a big property now, and UFC is so popular, and boxing isn't, that I don't think it would happen. It doesn't really make a lot of financial sense, but I'd still love to see it and play it. So those are some hopes of mine.
Good. Phil, you got any? Any hopes
as far as EA, are we moving on to the next panel?
We'll just move on to the next.
Yeah, because I'm as far as EA goes, just Mass Effect and Battlefield.
It'll probably be so. Here's the thing with EA: expect it to underwhelm in the presentation, because while they may have some great stuff to show, they always do the worst way of showing. We're gonna see concept art of hell. Maybe Mass Effect won't even have gameplay. Maybe you're right, because it's an EA press conference. I would not put it past them, because that's what they did with Mirror's Edge. They revealed it, and the next year they showed pictures of concept art and an interview of those behind the scenes. They did the same with Battlefront. It took forever to see gameplay.
Yeah, that did happen.
Pele and concept art will be the EA president. All right. Bethesda.
So, Bethesda, yes.
This is either going to be really stellar or really bad.
Yes, I agree 100%. Let's get right into the predictions. I put on here Wolfenstein 2. I have it on good authority, a.k.a. Phil's friends at his college, that... just kidding, Phil. No, but in all seriousness, I think that they are going to reveal Wolfenstein 2. or maybe they'll give it a different name. But a sequel to the Wolfenstein: The New Order. Is that what it was called? Yeah, the Wolfenstein: The New Order. A sequel to that. I think they'll reveal it. I don't think it'll come out till 2017, but I think they will reveal it. Just maybe a quick glimpse or a teaser or something.
They did it with Dishonored 2, where they just name dropped
Exactly.
it, a little cinematic. Oh, that would be
a little
great.
CG cinematic or something. I think that's what they'll do.
I love Wolfenstein.
So that's my prediction for Bethesda. So
yeah, my prediction. I have a few predictions here. Here's my exact wording. Shitty Elder Scrolls card game will fart its way on stage. It's got Elder Scrolls Legends. Do you guys remember that from last year?
yes, I do.
It was so embarrassing. They're like, oh, it's like Elder Scrolls Hearthstone. Doesn't have any Elder Scrolls art style. It was just the worst looking thing. And that took up presentation time, and that was all they've said on it. So I'm sure we'll see that. We'll probably see Battle Cry, and it's gonna look bad. They've had to delay that game 100 times. I'm amazed they didn't cancel it. It's not gonna sell. I played it. Played it 2 years ago. I played the game. Okay, Battle Cry. Do you guys remember what that game is? It's like the TF2, third person. Really boring. It doesn't have anything going for it, and it's taken. I played it in a playable state 2 years ago. There's no release date, but that'll be there. The Elder Scrolls Online will have an expansion. Actually, it's coming out that week. Fallout 4 will have some DLC that I think will underwhelm. All this stuff is just going to buy time for Dishonored 2 being their big game. Now that's if Bethesda's press conference blows, because that is like what they could honestly they could just fill a whole press conference with time-wasting little things and junk, maybe a new app game. But the hopes and dreams are pretty big here. So I'll start with my hopes and dreams. Actually, I think that I wrote all of these, but Striker, if you want to take the last one, you can.
Okay.
I think that there's going to be a massive new IP. It's kind of been hinted at that Bethesda's been working on something, but there's been no idea as to what it is. Like the main Bethesda dev team getting something out there. Technically, all the stuff they're bringing to the stage isn't even the main Bethesda team, so I'd be very surprised if they came to their own press conference and didn't have a game.
They've got to have something big. I mean,
Yeah, Elder Scrolls 6. There you go. It probably won't happen because they've said in interviews no, that's like 100 years away. It's going to take us forever to make this game. It's going to look like Fallout 4.5, running on the 2001 engine, and it's going to be people are going to buy it.
There's the signature shit you're dropping at Best Theta. That's like your signature.
Dude,
it's gonna say Best Theta.
Best Theta, dude.
Bethesda, Phil.
Bethesda, fuck.
It's like, yeah, like the game since Skyrim, I feel like the quest writing has gotten worse and worse. So I think that by Elder Scrolls 6, it's just gonna be the most wonderfully terrible quest writing. Yeah, that's my hopes for
one last hope. So we wrote Pre-E3 on here. Now this has actually picked up a bit of steam in the last 2 weeks because there's now becoming a bigger. The rumors are becoming more concrete. There's different evidence that people have posted. I can't recall all of it right now, but there's actually a slight chance that I think there was a website. The website was updated for Pre-E3 or something recently. Weird things.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I didn't know there was any rumors.
Oh, really?
Oh my god!
I thought that's why you wrote it. So the website was updated.
That's always been my hope.
The website was updated, and then someone came out with I don't remember. It was like slides or something for a presentation. Supposedly, Pre-E3 is alive, and it's being developed by Arcane Studios, which is kind of weird because they're also doing Dishonored 2, and they want it to be more like a spiritual successor to System Shock. So that's why you wrote Pre-E3, and I filled it in with similar to the version that was shown before, because the Prey 2 that was shown back in 2011 or whatever it was, I found that to be super interesting and it looked awesome. So I hope if Prey 2 is alive and they actually do show it off, that it hasn't lost that completely and isn't like a brand new game. You know what I mean? And if it is, I hope it's good and stuff, but what I was most excited for was the Prey 2 as we saw it, a few years back.
Prey 2 was one of my most looked forward to games. I have a T-shirt of it. I saw a guy play the demo live, and I mean, it was playable. It was heartbreaking.
And it looked
when
awesome.
They canceled that. I mean, it's Blade Runner crossed with Star Wars bounty hunters stuff. It's amazing, and the setting, everything about it looked amazing. And I'm a huge Prey 1 fan. I loved the first Prey game, even if there's like hardly any similarities. In fact, if they're going a System Shock route, that would probably do service to Prey 1. Prey 1 had an amazing setting. No matter what they do, if they capture the heart of what they had for Prey 2 or what they had for Prey 1, they're going to be making a great game. So if they actually do bring that back, if that rumor comes true, Bethesda will win me. So that game, I was looking forward to it so much. Oh my God.
And I have to say this. I've seen a few people say, oh, cool, Dishonored in space, sign me up.
Oh!
No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all.
No. Oh, no. Dude, Dishonored. I don't like Dishonored. I don't know why. I hate it. It's awkward. It's an awkward
I lost interest
game.
in it so quick.
I hope that they don't screw that up if it really is them. Oh, man.
So that's Bethesda. So this one will probably be relatively quick. Are we moving on to Microsoft? You guys okay with that?
Yeah, Microsoft it is.
Phil, so for predictions for Microsoft, scale-bound details and realistic launch window, or maybe even release date. Phil, you are excited for scale-bound. Is that correct?
Yeah, I would get an Xbox One for that. It looks different.
Okay.
Did you look at the extended demo? Because when I was at PAX, I got to go to this panel where they unveiled a lot of the demo footage. It was basically like 30 minutes of gameplay, and they showed off so many things that I had no idea. And that is a big game. Like, that game is like, I mean, I thought it was just like, a new Bayonetta type thing, but it's got like Monster Hunter RPG elements. It's got like a massive open world. You can fly around on the dragon. You can customize the dragon. You can like replace the head.
Oh, fun.
That game looks so big. Like, I really want it. And the combat looks so fun. And the main character, like, at first I was like annoyed by him. Then I met the voice actor who's playing him, and he was like the nicest guy.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, like, I just knowing that some Japanese dude invented that character, like the American hotshot guy, it just works. But the gameplay looked great. The subtleties of like putting on your headphones and then you hear electronic music during the combat, and you take it off and it's like cool orchestral. But yeah, there's like cities. There's co-op. There's like online co-op, like Monster Hunter style. You join your friends, and there's like massive weapons you can get. Like, that game looks so good.
Yeah, it did.
Release date, and
I love the look of the world and stuff. It was very unique.
Yeah, and they showed off many different types of locales, cool underground cities that with online players running around them in an instanced world. Like, this game was way bigger than I thought. So part of me wants to buy an Xbox One for this game. The price just dropped to $300 today for an Xbox One. But I think, because every Xbox One exclusive is now saying, oh, it's on Windows 10, you can play it on Windows 10. So it's like, well, great, I don't need to buy your console. Good move. I mean, I'm relatively open to buying it. I don't have a single reason to buy it yet, other than some games that are like kinda interesting. Like, I'd have to force myself to get because I bought the system. Like, there's no big game yet until Scalebound, but they keep announcing for their big games that they're also on the PC at launch. So they may do that at this E3. They may say Scalebound's now on the PC, but they didn't do that for like Bayonetta or anything. Like Devil May Cry was on the PC back in the day, so who knows? If Scalebound is exclusive to Xbox One and it gets good reviews, I'm buying it. But I don't know what kind of launch window I would expect for that. I have no idea. Yeah,
it's kind of a mystery. We're also hoping for, or predicting rather, a large, like AAA new IP from Microsoft to be revealed at E3. Now that is a very broad statement. I'm curious. I mean, I don't even know. I guess just for fun, we can try and predict what kind of game they may reveal.
Probably a shooter.
That's a good. One thing I forgot to add to our predictions is what do you guys think? They're going to show Gears of War 4. That's going to be a huge, emphasis in their conference. I wonder if it. They have. I mean,
the beta's been going. People have been playing the game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And it doesn't look that good.
The beta didn't look very good, graphically.
It looks like Gears of War 3. How did that happen? This is Microsoft. So that's why I say Microsoft has to have something that isn't the things that they've already been doing, because they don't have anything on the horizon. They have to really push for something big. Maybe that was Sea of Thieves. I think that Sea of Thieves is one of those new big IPs that maybe it won't be a hot seller, but they're really trying for it. They're saying, hey, we got Rare on our first party list. Let's get them putting out something big and expensive. And I think Sea of Thieves is bigger than it initially appeared. And so I think that's one of them. But that was revealed last year. That was last year's reveal. This year it's gotta have a big reveal. So I really have no idea. Probably will be a third-person shooter. That's the safe blockbuster game these days. Is an Uncharted-esque third-person shooter. So maybe they'll do something like that. Maybe they'll keep their hardcore shooter audience going with some new big attempt at another Halo, Gears of War kind of thing. But their two big IPs are Halo and Gears, and I think that was sort of for the last generation.
Do you think that they will finally reveal a new Battletoads game, or am I going to have to burn them to the ground?
No, what they're going to do is they're going to have a Battletoad guy and a Conquer guy in a suit. They're going to come out on stage, and people are going to be like, "Ooh!" And then they're going to be like, "And next up, we have Gears of War 4. Thank you." And they're going to be like,
huge middle finger.
Thanks.
Oh God! Go
now.
I wrote on here that two Microsoft exclusive sort of arcade games. Yeah, it is. No,
you're exclusive? I thought that was.
Yeah, it's exclusive to PC and Xbox One.
I didn't even know it was on the Xbox.
I think that and Cuphead will get release dates, and I want to play Cuphead so bad.
I thought Cuphead would be out by now.
I did too. I feel like I've been seeing Cuphead for 3 years. I can't wait to play it.
The game has been ready to play.
Yeah,
the demos.
It's a 2D platforming scrolling game. I mean, how long do they take?
I hope they don't. They probably are. I mean, I could tell.
I think it's two brothers that are developing it, so maybe they have a very small team.
Dang, that means I probably saw one of them. Shoot, I should have struck a conversation. But yeah, looked great, played great, really smooth.
So for hopes for Microsoft, Johnny, you wrote something that will make me want to buy an Xbox. Phil, I'm guessing you agree with that. You hope to see something that will sell you on the system.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready to be on board with it. I don't love the hardware or the layout of the thing. It's not my favorite console, but at the same time, like I think it's healthy to have competition in the industry.
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
I want to see other people. I want to see Microsoft find their thing that works in this day and age. And Microsoft is just making strike after strike in every market they jump in. They just don't get how to adapt.
And it's unfortunate because I hear that there are people there that are super passionate about games, and they just keep apparently dropping the ball.
Yeah, I mean Sony
I didn't
is
get that from my college friends.
crushing them. But that's it. Anything. I will take anything. Just give me a reveal that is an Xbox exclusive that makes me scream. Because Bayonetta 2 and Xenoblade X happened in the same press conference for Nintendo, and I bought a Wii U the next day. And I had zero interest. I made fun of the Wii U. And then all of a sudden the next day I'm like, woo! And it was worth it. The system was worth it, even though I only loved unexpectedly Donkey Kong after that. Everything else was just good. But I had a lot of fun on that console. And
here's a prediction that I have for Microsoft. I specifically remember saying the same thing last year, and I ended up being wrong. But Microsoft's back is against the wall. Same thing I said last year. I think they need to pull out the big guns. My guess is that they're going to reach in the vault, and whether it's a first-party Microsoft exclusive franchise, something from Rare or Battletoads, something that they own, or it's a third party that they somehow get some exclusivity for. I think they are going to what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to resurrect a well-liked franchise. I keep bringing up Battletoads, but I think it'll be something bigger than that, and I think they're going to reveal that at E3. What it is, I don't know, but that's my prediction.
My prediction is that they go ahead.
No, sorry, Phil.
It was kind of a left field comment. My prediction is that they come out with a new fighting game IP. You think I'm onto something?
They got Killer Instinct, and they're doing okay with it.
Yeah, I don't know. Be cool. I think that they would probably release something new for Killer Instinct, or maybe Dead or Alive or something. Who knows, though? Who knows at this point, Phil? Crazy shit has happened in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. Stuff that we never thought would happen. So, I'm not ruling anything out. I wrote on here for hopes. Crackdown gameplay that sells me on it. I don't expect that to happen because I was never that interested in the Crackdown games to begin with. I don't see why this one would be any different, but I'm sure it'll be cool. They're going to show gameplay for Crackdown. It's going to happen. They did last year, so it'll be cool if they have some cool like co-op elements and stuff. That might be neat. That's something that you don't get to do a lot in open world games. So, something different like that. But we'll see. So, what do you say we move on, guys, to the next conference?
Moving on.
Let's do it. All right. This one will be short and sweet. We have on here the PC Gaming Show.
It will be sweet.
This was something that was introduced last year. Last year was the first one.
Yeah.
And nothing cool happened last year at this.
It was so boring.
It was the worst. I don't think this year will be anything different. I mean, I don't know.
I think it will be better than last year because they were surprised by the viewer turnout, and it was a new idea. It was a new thing, and nobody came to them with stuff to show. Really, all they need is a podium. They need an audience that's watching and listening, so that other companies will come to them and say, "Oh, here's a good time to reveal this game." And this brand new show that just had nothing on it that nobody had heard of. Why would anybody reveal anything then? And they had like a couple expansion, the Vietnam version of Stalingrad or whatever. So, like, I want them to have one good game announcement. I think this could grow into something cool, and I actually kind of liked the talk show thing that was going on, like, mostly because I liked the guy who was presenting it.
It was very old school. It was like E3s of yesteryear.
It was, and which was cool because while it was corny and boring, it was also like brand new and like not innovative, but you know.
It was. I get what you're saying.
So I think that it'll grow if since it's come back, it surprised me. I think it'll be better than it was last year because like I said, they were surprised by the viewership, which means that they'll probably have more of a reason to have it exist this year, as opposed to just being interviewing hardware chipset manufacturers like they did. Like, how boring!
And John Tron gets to host,
or something like something. Wait, really?
I was joking.
Confirmed? Oh
no.
No, that would be amazing. Oh man, but
I hope Jamie Kennedy's better.
Yeah, my hope is that they reveal one decent or good game there, and then I'll be excited for it.
Yeah, same here. I mean, that's all we can really hope for with that. So, moving on to Ubisoft.
Mm-hmm.
Phil. What Phil? You remember Ghost Recon Wildlands, right?
I remember Ghost Recon. Yeah, a long time ago. So that's been left since I've seen it. Since I've seen it, Ghost Recon gone. Wildlands? I never played it.
It hasn't come out yet, Phil.
It was last year's big reveal.
Oh yeah, okay, yes, we talked about that last year.
Yeah, 4-player open world shocked me. Now I don't know what to think because Division was awesome. And like I don't know.
Now people hate the Division.
Yeah.
Because of
there's the Division backlash now.
Oh, yeah. There's huge. Everyone hates it because of and a lot of it's understandable because I guess there's still a lot of shit that is wrong with the kind of the backbone of the multiplayer, the online stuff. So
basically, it's designed in a way that if you've put 1,000 hours into it, it's not very fun. So it's I paid $60 for this, and I've only had fun for 50 of those hours. How am I supposed to enjoy the rest of this? Like they want. That's what people want. They want this like endless MMO. They don't want to put the game down because it has online functionality, and so they're like, put this, with a 500-hour point, it has an issue that you didn't think through enough, and it's like, dude, who cares? And a lot of people say, well, that's when the game really starts because you can make it a math project and you can do builds. It's like you're not paying a monthly fee for this game. You get nothing. You wait for the expansions that you buy, then you get the stuff. Everything is free at this point. Everything you're getting after you've beaten the game is free stuff that devs are giving you, and if it doesn't work as well as you'd like it, I just don't understand the mentality.
I enjoyed what I played. I think that there was a lot of backlash because there was a lot of hacks and exploits that were happening that weren't being fixed and weren't being resolved on the, like I said, on the back end of the game.
Yeah.
And there was other stuff too, but I don't know. The point is, so, whatever. Ghost Recon Wildlands is a completely different type of game anyway. I think it's got an emphasis more on like 4-player co-op, just like the other Ghost Recons. It's large open worlds. I think we will get a release date. I think it's pretty obvious that we'll get more gameplay. They showed that trailer leading up to E3 just like last week, so to kind of get people hyped, which I think only means one thing, and that's that they're gonna show have some stage demo with 4 people set up and pull off like some cool 4
terrible dialogue.
Person, some terrible dialogue, and but it'll be cool gameplay. I'll probably watch it like 3 times after after it's over. And
it looks like the first Ubisoft game that I would buy that isn't Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's funny because I buy like every Ubisoft game except for Assassin's Creed. um, I think this is going to be a Division expansion announcement, which I actually am excited for because I love that game, and if there's a good reason to go back, and I want to know what they're going to do, because they could just churn out more content, or they could do something really interesting with the expansion, because Destiny was fixed with the expansion. When Destiny put out their first big one, it was 2.0, and everyone went from hating the game to loving the game and being able to put having a lot of their complaints resolved, because only an expansion can root out major problems. And that game's set up to have, there's a season pass, so we'll probably see DLCs first, and then like a big Division 2.0 like a year or two from now.
Yeah.
But then, and again, I'm sure Ubisoft makes great games. It's just that I haven't really gotten into any ones that have been Assassin's Creed.
That's fair. What about Far Cry, Phil? I thought you liked Far Cry.
Oh, I haven't played Far Cry.
You fuck.
I have not played a Far Cry game.
You sicko.
I want to get the next game looks interesting. I should play them.
Next game? There's no next game.
You mean Far Cry Primal, Phil?
Yeah.
Don't get Far Cry Primal. Get Far Cry 3 or 4. Do you think there will be anything on the Far Cry front, now that I think about it? Do you think there will be a Far Cry 5 or a Far Cry...
I think they'll name drop, maybe show a location, and then that'll be it. But I think Far Cry is huge now.
I think that's a good bet.
Without an Assassin's Creed, I think they really need another big thing like that on the horizon. They may unveil next year's Assassin's Creed.
I hope it's in Egypt. Far Cry 4 came out 2014, November. So this will be basically 2 years without an actual main Far Cry title, other than Primal. I don't really count that, but so I could see that happening. What was the other game you mentioned besides Far Cry?
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. So it's very likely. Now we read the rumor that there was no Assassin's Creed, or maybe they even announced it. I think it's pretty much obvious at this point. No Assassin's Creed this year, but that doesn't mean that they won't, like you said, they won't show off at least the location and kind of name drop it with a teaser. So that might be cool. But Watch Dogs 2. Johnny, you and I both loved Watch Dogs 1.
Loved it.
It was
amazing.
Fun. It was fun as hell. I really enjoyed it. So I am stoked to see Watch Dogs 2. There's rumors a brand new protagonist, brand new location.
So you saw the picture of the protagonist?
Yeah. No. Oh, the leaked one from a couple weeks back.
I don't know if I buy that, but maybe. I feel like so Watch Dogs 2, no matter what it does, I'm sold. But the internet, no matter what, the internet's kind of bitch about it. But it depends on like the degree of like how much they do complain about it. So like, I think that they could fix a lot, and that because there's a lot of room for improvement, which is great because I loved the game. But Aiden Pierce was so bad of a main character that I hope that they take the edginess level like way down or something. They have more fun with it. Make the story less doom and gloom, because it didn't really fit the wackiness. Like the wackiness was the best part of the game. It was like an action movie. Some of the movie rip-off scenes, like that's pretty much what the whole story was campaign missions that just were inspired from a different movie, a different action movie, and that was what I loved about that game. Was just the mission variety was so good, and the arcadiness instead of like.
And the missions were just fun. That was the other thing. The missions were fun. They were. Yeah, there was no missions that I can remember just that were a drag to go through.
They're going to revamp the hacking, because that was a big complaint. It was like, oh, it's just you just hit a button and it just does it. I think that the hacking was great, and it added a lot of even though it's basic, you want it to be basic. You know, I don't
And you want it to be
actually hack.
fast-paced.
Yeah, and so you want it to incorporate with the combat, and I think they did a great job with that. They'll definitely rethink it and hopefully make it better. I don't think they can make it worse, but I think that since that was a complaint, they're going to find some way to make it, maybe give it more options. But I don't know. I loved the hacking. I thought it was about as good as I wanted it to be honest. I was impressed at how well it worked. I thought it felt great. That hacking mechanic got me into the coolest scenarios with car chases. You know, police is chasing you. You raise the blocking thing, and you just watch the cars crash in slow-mo behind you as you pass at the perfect time.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Yeah, I loved that stuff, and I think that Ubisoft does a good job in certain cases of responding to criticism, going from one iteration to the other. You know, you think about some of the sequels in past years, like Far Cry 3. That's a little bit more out there, but like Assassin's Creed 2, improving on a game with a sequel. You know, they do a pretty good job of that sometimes. So we'll see. I'm stoked for it. I mean, if they just kind of touch on some of the little things that you mentioned, I think that they could have an amazing game on their hands.
The rumor is that it's set in San Francisco,
which would be awesome. That's a really good location.
It is a good location. I played this game called
Chinatown.
Midtown Madness back in the day. It was an old open world racing game, and it recreated Chicago. Wait, no, Chicago. Shit, there's the sequel in San Francisco. Never mind. I like Chicago better.
Well, I hope birds don't snag the main character's ice cream. That happened to me.
God, Phil, you're so sad today. It's because you're in a goddamn closet, Phil.
You should get more birds, Phil.
So that's Ubisoft. So our predictions are that
main character isn't a douche.
Main character isn't a douche in Watch Dogs 2. Yeah. Ghost Recon Wildlands release date and a 4-player stage demo, Division expansion, and a teaser for Far Cry 5 or a Far Cry sequel of some sort. Before we go any further, a viewer has asked a question of us.
Really?
Our fan Chad. You remember him? Phil, you remember him? You called him Riley earlier today.
That was a douchey thing to do. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah. I'm sure he won't forgive you, but and I was actually going to bring this up and I forgot to. To go back real quick, just briefly to the PC gaming show. I don't know if you guys know about this game called Escape from Tarkov.
Oh yeah, I have.
So that game's been getting there's a lot of gameplay that's already out there, and I don't know when it releases. I think it might be relatively soon. I don't know if there's like betas and stuff like that, but I know that I've seen a lot of gameplay of it. But it's in like a hyper realistic like survival shooter type game, and it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's first person.
It's got the sort of design story of like Metro 2033 or the Metro games, how they're like made in Ukraine on like folding card tables. Like no budget. Like that's the same kind of. I think is the game Ukrainian? It's Russian.
Something like that. I don't remember exactly, but it also like parts of it. If you watch gameplay and stuff, parts of it almost remind me of. And I hate to say this because I have a kind of a shitty opinion on it, but it reminds me a bit of DayZ because it has that sort of survival element where you go, you kill somebody, you encounter somebody, and they shoot at you, and you kill them, and then you search, find resources and craft, and it's got this super deep weapon customization, and they pull out like a magazine and see if there's any rounds in it, and there's not like a HUD that says 8 rounds left. It's all very visceral and realistic. Like the sound effects are just insanely. Yeah. It's all very, very cool. I mean, it's got a lot of elements that I have thought would be cool if they were in place in a survival game.
It looks way better than DayZ, but I definitely.
Oh god, yeah. That I don't mean to say that because I feel like that's talking shit about the quality.
Definitely got the same draw, but like the production quality of the game, and it doesn't look, because when I see DayZ, I'm like, well, not only does this not look like fun, but it looks like it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's so open. It's so what is that?
That's Stanley, and he's saying hi.
Oh my God!
The dog? The puppy?
Stanley.
He's got a poopy.
I'm Stanley. That's right.
Just forget about him,
I
Phil.
remember you, Stanley. Okay.
Just kidding.
He's gone like tears in the rain. The memory thing from Blade Runner.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, Phil.
It's full of spoilers, dude.
Yeah, dude. Jeez, people haven't seen that.
So anyway, but Tarkov, the action gameplay looks interesting.
It does.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
It's a surprisingly high quality game. The audio design in that game looks amazing.
Oh, it's incredible, and it's got, like, if you watch these actual encounters that guys have, it's got that just from watching it, you can tell it has that very like super intense feel, like you see somebody from a distance and you almost. Oh, and that's the other thing, is the weapons are all super realistic. So I mean, if you encounter somebody and they're like off in the distance, you can't just sit back and pick them off and stuff. You have to, get in a better like tactical advantage to them where you can get closer because you're probably not going to hit them from very far away. So, it adds a level of intensity that I think a lot of those survival games are missing. I mean, a lot of the appeal of some of those games comes from just like the thought of an encounter, and then when you finally get to one, you're like, oh, well, this kind of sucks. That person just morphed into a wall. So this game, I really think it looks cool.
Yes. Let's see. Oh yeah, so we're starting. This is the big one. This is the one that's gonna kill. This is prediction number 1.
Oh boy.
Going into Sony.
So this is a big one.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so Sony last year destroyed everyone's lives. I did not expect them to just blow everything away, and they just did it was incredible. That was like the best press conference I've ever seen. So this year, they have a lot going for them that we know about, and like their predictions and hopes and dreams that we have are not that far-fetched compared to what actually happened last year. So
I mean, let's think about that. So last year we had Shenmue.
Mm-hmm. The
Last Guardian. We had Final Fantasy VII, a new remastered, a completely new version of Final Fantasy VII. Mm-hmm. They still have Kingdom Hearts on their, which a lot of people are excited for. They still have that in their backlog. Final Fantasy 15.
I don't think they had any footage of it last year for 15, though.
No, but I'm just saying those are all things that they have in their, that are coming sometime.
But they unveiled a few new IPs as well. We forgot about Microsoft's new IP last year that they unveiled that has like Keiji Inafune working on it. You remember that? It had like a girl.
Oh yeah.
It had a girl and she was working with robots.
Yeah, she was hunting.
Oh yeah.
Looks super cool.
Yeah, we have no idea what that game even is. There was just a way too long of a cinematic CG that showed nothing, and then it had a name, and I don't remember. Recore was the name of the game.
Oh.
And so I think going back to Microsoft, they'll have Recore, and we'll know what it is. But going to Sony, they had we don't have it written down. The other game, the bow and arrow not cyberpunk, the prehistoric sci-fi game.
Oh yeah, I wrote that down. It's Horizon.
Horizon
Zero Dawn or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that I wrote on here predictions. Whatever they show. I think the footage they showed last year was awesome. You know, I love when they announce a new IP by showing gameplay. That's my favorite thing. So I think that it was exciting. I think Guerrilla Games is an awesome studio, and I'm excited to see more of Horizon. And hopefully, it would be cool to see an actual release date for it. Is it coming in 2016? I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2017 because while they did kind of show that gameplay, it was sort of in that really cinematic, like we don't actually know anything about what the game's about.
It says 2016, so we'll see.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So we'll see that. So I'm gonna jump into a big. Oh, what are you gonna say?
I'm on a list going through all the E3 announcements, right? So what I do is I click on Star Ocean, and the first thing I see is a quote saying, "We don't think we have to make changes in order to appeal to Western audiences." So basically, it's going to be pretty fucking weird.
It's going to be 8,000 hours long.
Yeah.
Star Ocean until you fucking die.
I wish. Apparently, this new Star Ocean game, it's fairly short. Like, it's got a lot of open world stuff, but like the story can be done in like less than 30 hours.
But they're doing their own thing, and I respect that.
Yeah, no, I think they're mostly talking about censorship.
Oh, I don't respect anything.
A lot of JRPGs and J games are censoring their boobies because mostly Nintendo. Whenever there's like scantily clad character, they've been changing it up in certain ways.
Good for Square Enix.
Yeah, for some reason the Western audience can't see that. Like, I think it's more. Sometimes there are things in a game that's like really, really awkward, and the game is actually mainstream Nintendo crowd. And if they got this really weird feature in their hands, they'd be like, "What the hell?" Parents would be writing complaints, So like when they did that with Fire Emblem, I wasn't too concerned, but. Yeah, so Star Ocean's not changing anything. Great. There'll probably be weird, risque little girls and other various awkward things.
Well, when you put it that way.
So our predictions.
Predictions.
Star Ocean will have weird little girl awkwardness and other predictions.
So for me, this will be the I will scream. Because it's probably going to happen, and just a Persona 5 trailer. And the reason why that'll be such a big deal to me is because that game, while I don't think it could be mainstream, like a lot of people don't know about it, and I think they'd like it. And that studio has always been making the games that they just want to make. Like, all of the games, like my whole collection of games here that they made, cost like nothing. The budget on these games are tiny. And so that's kind of how all the Persona games have been and stuff. So when Persona 5 has a trailer and an American release date, which is a given, that's my prediction. We know it's going to be there. The big thing is last year they didn't play Persona 5 on the main stage. Maybe they thought that would weird audiences out. Maybe they didn't have enough money. I don't know. But they didn't play anything at E3, which made me think that they just don't care about the Western audience or any global audience at all, even though their trailers have millions of views in the West. The Japanese trailer is on another site. YouTube is what we get. So, 3.8 million views for the first trailer. So, like, I think that if they showed that at E3, like, you'd be seeing a lot of people going, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Which to me is the most exciting thing. But also their trailers are amazing and they're bizarre and there's a million things going on in them. And I hope they unveil a new one because there's a lot of new elements we haven't seen yet from past games that we haven't seen show up in this one yet. Like the whole meat of Persona is the social link encounters. We have events where you hang out with people and learn about the backstories of the people. So there's like all these characters that we don't know anything, we've never seen, because we don't even know if that's going to be a feature in this game, which is huge. So like everybody is just hoping that that's the reveal at E3. is that major mechanic, because they said they're going to change it some way. We haven't seen how they're going to change it.
One thing I wanted to say about Persona 5 is I feel like it has the same, just from the style and all the just sort of crazy, vibrant stuff going on. I feel like it has the same appeal. I remember when Catherine came out, completely different type of game, but
Yeah.
when Catherine came out, it was very weird and different for Western audiences. But I know a ton of people who played that game who never even, who know nothing about anything that comes from Japan when it comes to games. Like just the most random people that are like, they play like sports games and Call of Duty and stuff like that, and then they played Catherine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just had that weird appeal to people, and I feel like that Persona 5 could do that times a lot more.
Oh man, I'm so excited to see the sales figures on that game, especially with them competing with Final Fantasy. I mean, this really is, when Final Fantasy VII came out, everybody knew it. Everybody's mom knew Final Fantasy VII. Like, that was so huge. And, like, talking about...
Phil's grandma loves Final Fantasy VII.
Loved it. But, like, everybody bought the game.
She's beat the ultimate weapon, the ruby weapon. She's done it all.
Wow, dude, that's awesome.
She has 4 memory cards filled with place. No, I'm kidding.
My dad's been
Of course I'm
playing
kidding, you guys
Overwatch, though, which is cool.
That's pretty cool.
But yeah, the big thing. So my hope, jumping to a hope, is that Persona 5's it's going to be a new trailer instead of just the English version of the old one. It's going to be on the main stage instead of last year where they just played it on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to show the dub. I don't want the dub, so I hope that they probably won't reveal this immediately, but they might. I hope there's dual audio. They've never done this before. They don't like doing it. But the Japanese voice cast, as somebody who follows that kind of thing, Japanese voice acting is like just as huge of an industry as American acting. Like, they make a lot of money, they're celebrities, and so they have a wide range of talent. I'm familiar with actually a lot of names and voices, and the best, the most perfect choices were made for this game. There's never been a better, like, this is like the dream team, where every single character, they just got the best, most expensive Japanese voice actors. So now I'm, like, from those trailers, I'm already associating, like, the voices to how these characters look. So as soon as they're going to show the dub, it's going to be awkward as hell.
I hope the dub has Michael Madsen in it.
Oh, yeah, I hope they do some weird... They're not Square Enix. Only Square Enix would do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because they would do probably exactly that. I would not be surprised if Michael Madsen showed up in Final Fantasy 15. They got Jesse Pinkman and stuff, but, like, Persona doesn't... Atlas doesn't have the USA budget that the Japan one has. So, but Sega has recently taken over their publishing side for the international audience, because Atlas USA is a very small publishing firm, and they, I think, are going to do a big production on this game because it's going to ship way more copies than any of Atlas USA's games ever have in the past. So, since Sega can publish their games, this is prediction number 3 for Persona. I think that it's going to have a simultaneous release date like Final Fantasy 15, where it comes out the same day in the US as it does in Japan.
I can see that. I was actually going to say that before on one of our episodes, but I could definitely see that happening.
Because
just
if
the amount of hype it's got.
Yeah, the hype is huge, and if they don't go hardcore on the localization, like that would be such a tragedy. Because with Persona 4 Golden, it took 5 months to go from Japan to the US for just the Vita version of Persona 4.
It can't take that long for Persona 5. I mean, it just can't with as much as they're showing it.
Yeah, Atlas USA is a wonderful company, but they specialize in games that take... There's like 30 people. They specialize in games that take like 30 people to localize. They don't... This is huge. I mean, way more voice acting in this game than in the last ones. Like, everything's a cutscene instead of still faces. It's... Yeah.
Phil, hit me with another prediction.
a Sony
Sony.
prediction or another?
Sony.
No, a Sony prediction. You fuck. Sorry.
Okay. I made a remark that chances are they're probably going to say a little bit more about VR than very many new titles, but I could be wrong. That's based off the research I did for this episode, and that's cool.
What?
That's it.
Phil, just read the list. Just read one that I wrote.
No, dude, I can't get to it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I'm gonna whisper it in your ear, and then you can say it. Okay.
You don't understand. I can't get to it because I can't be in Pixel Chicken and then my account at the same time.
Never mind, Phil. Stop.
Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot.
Oh fuck yeah, that's right. Crash Bandicoot. I wrote that. Yeah. Crash Bandicoot.
Come on.
There's apparently an Indian company released a photo of that, and that's really to the extent of what people know. There hasn't been a Crash game since 2008. I think that was the Crash Bandicoot game where you could play as Cortex. But yeah, it'd be great to see a return of the platformer Crash Bandicoot, especially after a new generation of gamers have played the first game during their Uncharted 4 sessions.
Spoilers, friend. It's probably the biggest thing you could spoil in Uncharted 4 is the delight of that moment. No, the thing about that, so I do kind of expect it to return, but I don't think that they'll just make another, because like with Ratchet and Clank, it could make a return because it fits in the modern age of games. Mm-hmm. But what do we really want to see in a Crash game that hasn't been done already?
Yeah, like Crash as it used to be on the PlayStation 1, that wouldn't work nowadays. It just wouldn't. I mean, that style of gameplay where it's like, because it's not even a traditional platformer, it was like a chase kind of like top-down platforming game.
Sometimes there's a lot of variety. You were riding a motorcycle, you were doing all kinds of stuff. I don't know. It would take some pretty creative people to pull it off. So
I think that it would be a reboot in terms of the gameplay, like where it takes like the essence of what that was, but that's too simple to just do that and have that actually sell, unless it was a very minor project. But I don't see them doing that because it's their that's their darling, that's their mascot guy. So I think that they'll probably reboot it if they do anything with it at all. I still think that they won't have Crash Bandicoot, but I mean,
I've heard one of the guys from Sony or something said that the rights are still owned by Activision. That doesn't mean that they can't broker a deal of some sort, but who knows what that means. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on there. But at the same time, I mean, for him to be in Naughty Dog, that shows that there's some willingness, I guess, to figure out a way to get around the licensing and stuff. I don't know. So maybe that'd be cool. I'd be down with that. Can I touch on the big one here?
Do it.
The elephant in the room. There's been a lot of rumors. This is one that we all have wanted since 2010.
Mm-hmm.
We've been wanting this so bad. Now this is a two-parter. Red Dead Redemption. Okay. We want a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, but we also wrote on here an HD remaster of Red Dead Redemption 1. If that were to happen, let's touch on the remaster first. If that were to happen, that would be very cool, especially if it came to PC, because there's a ton of PC gamers never got to play Red Dead Redemption, which is unfortunate. So I'd be totally down with that. I would absolutely play an HD remaster of Red Dead Redemption again. I would happily lay my money down. I'd pay $60. That's too high. I don't give a fuck. I'd pay it. I would immediately pay that. And I'd pre-order it too. I would pre-order the shit out of it.
You love Red Dead Redemption.
That's one of my favorite games ever made. Yeah.
I think it's my favorite game ever made.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It may be, yeah. There's a lot of games out there.
It's the best game ever, Phil. Sorry.
Fuck it. Yeah, it is. It fucking is. It's a fucking amazing game.
That's right.
Fucking love that game.
So good.
God, I've spent so many hours on that.
Red Dead Redemption, a sequel to Red Dead Redemption, whether that's Red Dead Redemption 2 or Red Dead something with an R.
They're gonna.
There's been rumors of this.
Red Dead Revolver 2. Gonna go back to the arcadey format. It's gonna be colorful and zany, lots of jokes.
Not open world. It's gonna be a downloadable title.
It's gonna be It's gonna be like that Call of Juarez Gunslinger. It's gonna be like $15. It's gonna be really repetitious.
9 hours long. So this is kind of weird because we've had rumors. There's a leaked map and some other things. I don't remember all the other stuff, but it's weird because Rockstar typically doesn't have anything to do with E3. They stay away. So for this to happen at all would be awesome. For it to happen at E3, like one of the Hauser brothers to come out on stage, I mean, I think the crowd would immediately go apeshit because they know what that means.
Yeah. Talk about a show stealer.
I would squeal. I'd squeal, guys, like a girl.
Now this could go for a Microsoft prediction as well. I think that Sony's gonna nab that because they've been accomplishing our hopes and dreams these years. But Microsoft may want to take a stab at that. Oh my God, what if Red Dead Redemption 2 was like an Xbox exclusive?
I wouldn't like that, but it would be one of the reasons why I would consider getting an Xbox One.
Actually, I don't think that would happen because Rockstar's games sell so many copies on like every system ever. So
there's no way Rockstar would after all the millions of units they sold decide to go exclusive.
I don't think they've ever done exclusive. Have they ever?
Well, the no, because eventually the first GTA 3 and those games were exclusive for a while, but then they came to Xbox later on. So.
Yeah, so it's like, and back then it's like you probably wouldn't even really expect that. Though, yeah. So I think if they do an HD remastered, they won't just do a remaster; they'll do a remake where it's like on the GTA 5 engine, and that would be like. And then Red Dead. I'd love it if it was both. It probably would be both. But if they did a remake of Red Dead 1, that may just stand in place of a Red Dead 2 Redemption.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, I mean, or it might be a situation kind of like Uncharted where they had the trilogy remastered that came out last year, and then Uncharted 4 came out this year. So who knows?
We know that Rockstar likes to buff up games onto the PS4 era because that's what they did with GTA 5.
Yeah, absolutely. I would fucking love that. Phil, I want you to touch this one as well. Johnny, here, I'll whisper to you, Phil.
Capcom.
Resident Evil 7.
Resident Evil 7, Phil, say that.
All right, so to everyone's knowledge, what we know so far is that Capcom said that they are returning to their roots coming E3, and that can either mean a new Resident Evil game that's more in the spirit of the original 3 games, including 0, or it could just be the Resident Evil 2 remake, which I wouldn't protest over at all. But I would like to see. I would definitely be excited about Resident Evil 2. I'd like to see taking the sequel back to basics. That's something I would definitely love.
So the big rumor about Resident Evil 7 is that they're going back to the roots with the horror. But they've got people from the PT project on board.
Oh, shit.
I heard about that. That good, man.
I read that. I briefly read that.
That's a game I will not play.
I'm going to hesitate to get that then. Oh, man. What
I'm excited. Oh, man, that would be amazing. Because, I mean, clearly Capcom reacted to Resident Evil 6 being a fart. Like, they know that they went too far with the action movie garbage. And so...
Capcom they got a lot of shit for a really long time. They were seen as, the once great publishing company at one point, and now they're there's kind of a light at the end of their tunnel now. Now Konami is arguably taking their place. So yeah, I guess they're making up for lost time.
I hope so. I hope they're back on track. Let's get into some of our hopes. We can skip over that first one. Johnny, you already touched on that second one there. So I wrote a couple on here that I think would be cool that are fighting game related. If you guys don't mind, I'll just go through those real quick. I'd love to see a Tekken 7 release date, and if that were to happen, I could see it happening at the Sony conference. We still don't know. I mean, Tekken 7's like in arcades. There's an update called Tekken 7 Fated Retribution. It's coming. I think it's out this summer at some point, but I don't know. Nobody knows anything about the console release date. I really want to know. I want it to happen soon. Odds are it probably won't happen until 2017, which sucks. But
it's really exciting,
cool
though. I mean, it's just the idea. Like last time a Tekken game came out, or even, I think the time before that, nobody. I don't recall people. Well, at least press-wise and all the reviewers. Every single review I saw was like, okay, it's just the same as the last game. The last game, it's another fighting game. But now people are ready to play fighting games again. They're ready to play another Tekken game again, and that's pretty fun. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it looks so great. It looks beautiful. It's on Unreal 4, and it just looks amazing. So that would be cool. The rest of the King of Fighters roster would being revealed would be a good thing. That'd be cool. This might be a bit early, a bit premature, but Street Fighter Season 2, a new list of DLC characters. I don't think that will happen because they haven't even finished all this year's, helpings, and they still have the rest of the game. But but it would be cool. I want Sagat in Street Fighter 5. So and then
you haven't got him yet?
I also Phil. MU.
I'm sorry.
Don't remind me. Shenmue gameplay. I know that's.
I don't think this will be at E3. I think it'll be. Well, they've hinted that there's going to be some stuff for E3, but it's going to be like a trailer. I'm going to make my guess that it's something like that just gets put up on the Kickstarter, sent around, but it's not necessarily because it's. I don't know. I don't see Sony pushing for that was just sort of they didn't even really give them much time.
Exactly.
In the old press conference, it was just sort of like, yeah, we'll help you, talk about this game.
Yeah, I don't see them giving time to a Kickstarter campaign, but who knows? They could show a trailer with little snippets of gameplay. That by gameplay, that's what I mean. I don't mean like they'll do a demo and be like, "Here's Shenmue, the Kickstarter game." But maybe a trailer with little snippets of some fighting and stuff. So that's my hopes for the Sony conference. Did we have anything else for Sony?
I feel like King of Fire. I don't know.
We briefly touched on it. There's going to be a ton of VR stuff. I'm excited for that. I think it'll. I already pre-ordered it. I told you guys that before. The PlayStation VR. I'm excited for it.
Where did you pre-order it?
On BestBuy.com.
Oh, okay. I went to Best Buy and they're like, "Sorry, we don't have it. We don't pre-order it yet."
Okay. I fucking lied, man. Yeah. I did a website, so maybe that was the difference. But anyway, I'm excited to see more VR stuff. I hope that's not. I hope that's not their whole conference. I'm excited to see other stuff too, but I do want to see more of the specific games and
I think that they'll.
I want to see what is Sony End working on. I should go check it out, but I can't.
Just go, dude. Just drive on down.
What are they working on? That's what I want to know. So with that said, we can move on.
Why is Capcom listed? They don't have a press conference.
I think that was Phil.
What?
You added a Capcom section.
You're right. Yeah, I that was my mistake.
Okay,
we covered it. So.
I do want to cover something from here, though.
Me too.
Because you reminded me of it on here, Phil. For hopes, I wrote. Do you guys remember the game Deep Down?
Yeah, that mysterious.
Like that cozy kind of game. Yeah. What was it again? Maybe we'll see more of that.
Apparently, it's still alive.
It's called Deep Down.
It's
still alive, I heard. I also always will hope for a true Mega Man comeback. Yeah, that would be cool.
Ah, yes. Mega Man Legends.
But Mighty Number
Never know.
9 is out.
No, not Mega Man fucking Legends, Phil. Just regular old, well, Mega Man X would be cool.
You gotta make
Mighty Number 9's out?
Mighty Number 9 is coming out like next month. But did you guys see the last trailer for the game? Did you see the dislike bar? It's like worse than the Ghostbusters trailer.
That's what I was thinking in my head before you said that.
It is so bad. There's a part of the trailer where like it'll make you want to cry like an anime fan.
Oh my god! Why would they do that?
They're baffled. That was a horrible trailer, but like they literally insulted us. Probably most of the people still sticking around for them, and it's like, all right, well. This game is going to bomb so deliciously hard, but the thing is that a lot of games bomb. This is going to bomb, and everybody's going to know about it, and it's going to be great because everybody knows about the game, and no one wants to buy it.
It just looks so shitty.
It looks absolutely wretched. Meanwhile, there is a great Mega Man successor called Gunvolt, or something Gunvolt, on the 3DS. It's a 2D, sort of anime-looking, but several Mega Man developers, ex-developers, are on that game. Have you seen it? Azure Striker Gunvolt. There's a sequel coming out. Yeah, it's a 3DS Mega Man game. It looks great. It looks like a ton of fun. The 2D art is just really pretty. Great pixel work. It's just exactly what a new Mega Man game needed. If you're playing as real people with cool a cool gimmicky gun, as opposed to a Mega Man guy. So there was a change in the art style.
This looks so great.
It's fantastic. The first one is out on the 3DS, got great reviews, and the second one's coming out soon, and it looks great as well. So it's but everybody's going to talk about Mighty Number 9 because, Keiji Inafune stepped in it for a second and said, yeah, this is a game, and then I think he just totally bailed on him, no idea what happened there. But Deep Down is a big one. I think it's either going to die or we're going to see it at this E3 because it's been too long since we've seen anything.
I feel like if we don't see it at this E3, that it's officially dead.
Yeah. So you mentioned that you wanted to see a few other things in the hopes category. I'm skipping ahead. We had a thing for CD Projekt Red as well. They don't actually do E3; they do their own. So
I heard a quote from one of them saying that they're not going to talk about Cyberpunk, but there's something else that they're going to bring up at E3 that they haven't announced yet. But that's really my knowledge so far.
Yeah, maybe they'll do something at the PC game show if it's a small enough game. But CD Projekt always announces their games at their own little live stream GOG press conferences that they have in Poland or whatever. And I love watching those. They're really good presentations. But yeah, they have their own press conferences, and they're usually quarterly kind of thing. But there's 100% just the consumer just announcements.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. I think
they announce all the goodies.
They'll just launch a physical version of Gwent.
Oh, and maybe that's what they have for the PC game show. It sounds like something that they do.
Here's your first deck, everybody.
So you said the new Volition IP.
Yeah, so I did. And I don't know what conference this would be at, that's why I put it in the random section. These are just so you people know out there, these are just some random things that didn't really fit into a conference that we just kind of put on here. There's only a few. So Volition, developers for Saints Row, they are working on a new IP that I thought they said it was going to be shown off soon. They literally said that, and I think there was even a leak to what it was going to be called. But anyway, it's not a Saints Row. It's a new IP, and they do really good at just awesome, over-the-top action games, and they haven't, as far as I know, other than like remastering, or if you could even call it that, the Saints Row game for PS4 and Xbox One, they haven't created or developed a game for the current generation of consoles yet. I don't think. So anyway, my point is, I am excited to see what they do next. I like that studio. The Saints Row games are fun. They're just dumb fun, and you know,
They're
it could be cool.
hilarious.
A new IP is always exciting. You know, when they have a chance to do something different and step outside the box. They've been doing so much Saints Row for the last 8 years or something now. So let's see what else they can do. The Red Faction games also came from them. Red Faction Guerrilla, I fucking love that game. So I want to see what they have in store.
Cool.
I think Sega will show a new Sonic, and it will be cool.
Cool. Will it?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
That's a hope. I'm gonna move that to the hope section.
Yeah.
That's not a prediction because I will lose. That's a losing bet right there.
I mean, man, they really have to repair Sonic a lot. I mean, Sonic is so broken. Like, I don't know.
It is such a broken franchise.
It's been demolished for over a decade, and they keep churning out worse garbage that's different from the last one, and somehow worse.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Mafia 3. I'm going to take that one from
yes.
you. I think Mafia 3 is going to be a huge freaking game. I think that there will be a release. Wait, no, there is a release date.
Yeah, there is.
I don't care what they do at E3. I'm sold. It looks great.
I'm pretty much sold at this point.
They've shown like 30
I wouldn't mind
minutes of
seeing more
gameplay.
gameplay.
Yeah, I would love some. But what they've shown quite a bit. They don't really need to have a big E3 presence. I want them to be at PAX so I can play a demo and get swag.
That'd be awesome. Phil, did you know about this? There's a rumor that Injustice 2 is being developed. Whether or not it's shown off at E3, I don't know, but it's always kind of coincidental when you see these leaks right before E3. So I wrote on here for a hope that Injustice 2, that they show that off. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, hell yeah, that'd be really sweet. Man, I wonder what the hell they would do with that. Like, what the story would be? Would it just continue the Superman gone evil thing, or?
Yeah, I would have to.
That would be pretty awesome.
Injustice was a cool game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I would be interested in a sequel, because I was kind of done with it when it was over. I was like, oh, this is cool. All right, taking it back. Good rent.
Yeah.
I don't know if I needed another one.
But the fun of that, the fun of it though is just it would be to see what kind of characters that they would put in that haven't been already been in there. Like maybe they have some of the Teen Titans characters in there.
Yeah, there's a few Teen Titans that were already there. Cyborg was in it, and I guess that was it. Was Raven in it?
Damien. I would love to see Damien, the son of Batman. That would be sweet.
That would be cool. Oh, and Hush. It would be cool if Hush was in it.
But they resolve.
Yeah, that would probably be a DLC character.
They resolved the timeline issue though. Like at the end of the game, they fixed the They went back to the normal time. What are they gonna do?
Well, there's always time for. Time can always be broken again, Johnny. If you have enough evil.
That's true. It is a comic book.
And there's always things going wrong.
I hope they have the
DC
Lex Luthor
universe.
for Batman versus
Dr.
Superman.
Froze.
I was really waiting for you to say hello.
So another thing I wrote on here for hopes. I just want to say this one because then we can get it.
I really want what you're gonna say.
Yeah. Okay, so this is out of everything I'm listing, this one has the least chances of happening, and I fully admit that. But if a new Virtua Fighter was shown, I would be very happy.
What's it been 1,000 years?
Virtua Fighter, let's see, Virtua Fighter 5 came out in 2006, 7, something like that.
Maybe it was 05. It was a PS3 launch title.
Well, that was Virtua Fighter 4. That was Virtua Fighter 4.
Huh?
And then 5 came out for 360. There was an arcade update later on after that. So it's been a long time, that was the point, and I would love one. One thing I wanted to discuss with you guys is we're probably going to see, we've heard all the rumors, but we're probably going to see the updated consoles at E3 for Sony and Xbox. I hope that they are worth upgrading to, and I'm just kind of interested to see. I'm interested to see how they, if they're named differently, if some games that are announced are going to be exclusive for the new updated consoles, weird things like that. I'm just curious about, but I'm sure we'll see that. In what capacity, I don't know. And like I said, my hope is that they're worth upgrading to.
So my prediction about those consoles is that they're gonna be like the PlayStation Slim for the PS2, because back in the day the PS2 Slim, it actually buffed up the hardware a bit, added new capabilities, and it was smaller, and it was cheaper because it wasn't that much better. I think that's all I
love that one.
I think that they're just enhanced.
I would be okay with that.
Slimmer. And because they can add more hardware to it, because what they've said that they're not that big of a jump in hardware. It's like a slight jump, which will really help for the VR, because the VR is going to need it, and that's about it. And so people are making it out to be this really big deal, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I don't think it's going to be this huge thing that's going to take over the press conference. I just need a freaking date on this thing.
Look on the back. Look at the fucking bottom of the back.
Look at this. Look, I got a sticker right where the date is.
On the booklet for Full Auto 2. Look down there.
There isn't a date.
Damn it. Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Dirt, man. I have it right here. I see 1998, but that's like the first 2005. Woo! I was right. 05. Are you sure that Virtua Fighter 4 was not a launch title?
Are you talking about 4 or 5? Because you're holding 5.
5. 5 says 2005, which is when the PS3 came out. I thought this was the launch title.
Well, here's the thing. You got to keep this in mind. The Virtua Fighter 5 may have come out in 2005 in the arcades. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. The 360 version came out in 2007, PS3 in 2007. The arcade version came out in 2005. And then there was an update that came out later on for Xbox and stuff like that. But Final Showdown.
So Strucker is right by a technicality.
This game is amazing, by the way.
It's such a great game.
Look at this, $4.49, and I got every penny's worth out of it. I love it.
Yeah. So did you guys want to briefly just talk real quick about Zelda? One of you wrote Zelda on here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, so Nintendo's screwed the pooch this year, and they've got nothing to show. And a part of me hopes that they're lying.
They already said, so they said they're not going to show the NX.
Yeah. Well, they're not going to show anything. There's no Nintendo Direct at all this year, which is heartbreaking. So not only is there no press conference, there's no Direct, and it's just a Zelda demo. That's it. Well, at least the Zelda demo is huge. Unfortunately, it won't showcase anything about the NX, but we don't know what the gameplay is really going to be like. Other than that, it's more open. But Zelda is such a formulaic series. What does that really mean? I mean, they're already relatively open. It's just an open world that leads to the next puzzle dungeon. Are the puzzle dungeons going away? People are like, is it gonna be like Skyrim? Everybody compares everything to Skyrim when nothing is like Skyrim. But I don't think it's gonna have like RPG depth and loot. It's still gonna be simple. like Zelda always is. It's like my first, RPG. So how do they do that? I have honestly no idea what this game's going to look like. So I am eagerly anticipating the reveal. It's huge. So at least Nintendo. Technically, this is bigger than what Nintendo brought us last year. By just showing what the Zelda gameplay. There's like a 30-minute demo. Is what's been planned. Or I think it's about 30 minutes. So that's pretty big. But they have a lot of show floor space. I look at the show floor map. There's like 2 major sections and then a half section. It's like, is that all just for Zelda? Really? I mean, God, what the hell are they doing?
I wish that they would.
Nintendo won E3 like 2 years ago. Like, I gave them the victory trophy because that Nintendo Direct was so good, and then everything after that has just gone back to sucking. It's like such a wishy-washy, like love it and like baffled by it company. Like,
yeah, and I'm just very curious about the NX, but anyway.
My prediction for Zelda, you can pick a guy or a girl. I mean, that's been pretty much rumored or hinted at, and I really hope that that's true because that sounds amazing. If the Link that was shown in that first trailer was actually a girl Link, that's cool. If it's Link,
we'll get a release date?
I think. Oh yeah, I think we'll get a release date. I think we might get an actual trailer because we haven't gotten.
Why call it Linkle? Why call her Linkle?
Oh no! Shoot. Well, okay. So you have to think about it from the Japanese standpoint. If you find a name confusing, pronounce it in English, and it'll make a little more sense. Because Link is Rinku, if you're a Japanese player.
Oh,
Linkle is Rinkuru. So it's just like a cutesy way of saying Link. Because when you add an uru at the end of something, it's cuter and more feminine. So it's just Rinkuru.
I see. Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
but it's something that Nintendo of America should have changed, but they didn't. So it just doesn't work. Anyways, yeah. So, yeah.
That is our E3 hopes and predictions.
Call him Jeff.
Phil, shut up.
Is there like a delay to everything I say?
Just stop. So that is our E3 hopes and predictions. And
probably should have sorted out the technical difficulties, Phil, like in the half hour we had before we started recording.
I'm guessing this is
sorted out. Yeah.
No,
sorry,
I don't think
Phil,
it's a delay.
I'm joking.
Oh, that's all good.
But anyway, thank you everyone for joining us, Phil and Johnny. Thank you guys. It's good to be back. Like we said at the beginning of the episode, we will be back for the actual E3 show. We'll probably do like a 2-parter to cover the conferences and then cover like the show floor stuff. So be on the lookout for that. But otherwise, check out our website, pixelchickengaming.com, and follow us on Facebook. Or like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, PixelChicken, @pixel_chicken on Twitter, facebook.com/pixelchickenpodcast to keep up with what we're doing. And thanks for joining us.
Yeah, now Phil is going to play us out with a noise that fits this character right here.
Don't make it loud, Phil.
Make it really loud.
Which character is it?
It's this guy. He's got a
What character?
cucumber. He's a bean bird with a hat.
Just look at him,
Cucumber, dude. Just check it out.
No.
Was that?
All right.
That was. I'll give you some credit. That was different than what I expected. So.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
All right, I'm ending it in 5, 1.